retirement is wonderful. I'm not happy.
There we go.
Well, I got my degree from UCLA for a 6-year program. Got my degree at Frey, got my graduate as a policy. Fortunately, I went to Central Germany, a little town called Riverfront. Yeah.
Welcome. Yes, welcome to Minneapolis Riverfront Partnerships Forum regarding Minneapolis after the lock. I felt like I should dress locks like that. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. My name is Meg Horney. I am not Linda Mack, although Linda fortunately is here, but a little bit under the weather. So I am the Vice President of Minneapolis Riverfront Partnership, besides being a Minneapolis Park Board Commissioner. And I'm so delighted that there's so many of you here. We've gotten wonderful publicity, but I think more importantly, as we all know, this is a huge, huge issue and potential. I think that's the really exciting thing. Our MC for tonight is Jacob Frey, who happens to be council member with the Minneapolis City Council. Jacob is from North Carolina. Please don't hold that against him. Virginia. Excuse me, did you get, oh no, that's right, Northern Virginia. My apologies, okay. And after graduating, he became a runner, wasn't a runner before that, but anyway, he had the opportunity of coming up to the Twin Cities Marathon and had a love affair with Minneapolis. And we are very fortunate to have him here, not only today, but I want to thank you personally and for the state of Minnesota and people. He's been very active in our marriage amendment, and I believe, was it this year that you received the first annual recipient of the City of Minneapolis Martin Luther King Jr. Award. Anyway, well, we really appreciate all your efforts on civil rights, and appreciate that you're here today to be able to moderate our forum. And I'll allow you to introduce our members.
Thank you so much, Meg. Thank you to the Riverfront Partnership and Kathleen here in the front for doing really an extraordinary job organizing this event, getting everybody together. And the really big piece that we're trying to do here tonight is imagine the potential that we can have along the central riverfront here, which is really extraordinary. For quite a long time, people were moving to other cities, not Minneapolis. They were moving to perhaps Denver, or Portland, or Seattle. You had these young, upwardly mobile, highly educated people moving to these places without a job, sometimes even without a place to stay. And then the big question was, why? Why were they moving to these places? What makes them any different than Minneapolis? And I think the big difference that we're really starting to recognize now is they found aspects of those cities that set themselves apart, and they found ways of highlighting those aspects. So what sets Minneapolis apart? In many ways, it is this treasure that runs right through the center of the city and right through the center of the 3rd Ward, which is the Mississippi River. And what we've been doing a wonderful job, whether it's the park board or the community or the city, or a ton of different private interests, is finding ways to highlight that space and make sure that every single bit of potential is realized. Imagine for a second that you're an employee, perhaps working over at the Nicollet Hotel block, which we presently have an RFP out for. And you're maybe 35 or 40 stories up in the air. You come down to the base floor, maybe 4:30 p.m. on a beautiful Thursday night. You come out to Nicollet Avenue. Not only is it extraordinarily green, but you've got the farmer's market going on. So you buy yourself a croissant, Maybe you meet a cute girl on the way down to the riverfront, and there aren't any blockages. You've got this direct connection right down to the riverfront. You know that big, ugly parking ramp that's right next to the post office right now? It's not there anymore. Instead, you have this cascading entrance right down into the Mississippi riverfront. As you walk, you make a right, and as you walk down along the post office there, you know those alcoves underneath, every single one of them now has a local vendor. Somebody selling beads, somebody selling hot dogs, somebody selling art. You maybe buy a piece of art and you head down towards the Stone Arch Bridge. On your way to the Stone Arch Bridge, you recognize that there's a lock there. And that lock happens to be closed. In its place, maybe we've got a beautiful ice skating rink. Farmers market, I'm realizing my whole scenario is a little bit flawed because we wouldn't have an ice skating rink while the farmers market's going on. But maybe it's a winter market. Change that. Instead of a croissant, you're buying a thing of, I don't know, you have some hot chocolate in your hand. You walk maybe a little bit further and you've got the amphitheater that's part of Waterworks. You walk across the Stone Arch Bridge to the other side, you see what we were able to capitalize on the downtown side and on the east side of the river, with all of this, both public as well as private investment. With all of these different people working together to make sure that Minneapolis, and really this entire state, realizes its full potential. So, realizing that potential is largely what this the Riverfront Partnership is working towards. And in furtherance of that goal, we have some extraordinary minds that are here today that I will be emceeing. Am I emceeing or are you emceeing? Okay, I'm not emceeing, but I will introduce them. So, first, we have, I'm just going to introduce the panelists here, and if one by one, if you can just kind of raise your hand as I'm going through. Thomas Meyer. Thomas Meyer is a founding principal of MSR Architecture, Interiors and Urban Design with 43 years worth of experience. Tom is well known for designing new and reused projects in historic settings, such as the Mill City Museum Complex, recognized with an AIA Honor Award for Architecture, National Trust for Historic Preservation Honor Award, and the Waterfront Center for Excellence in the Waterfront Top Honors. Tom taught design at the U of M School of Architecture for 25 years and was the first recipient of the Ralph Rapson Award for distinguishing teaching. Tom was elected to the AIA College of Fellows in 2006 and is past president of the AIA of Minnesota. So thank you so much for being Tom. Nanette I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your last name.
Bischoff.
Nanette Bischoff. Nanette is a project manager with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the St. Paul District. In addition to being the St. Paul District Hydropower Coordinator, Nan will be leading a study for beneficial use of or disposition of the lock after it closes to navigation. So this is the brain that we need to be talking to figure out really what's next after this lock closes. Janna King. Janna is the President of Economic Development Services and led the team that prepared the assessment of economic impact of potentially discontinuing the operation of the Upper St. Anthony Falls Lock, which was prepared in 2012 for the Metropolitan Council. In 2011, she provided development analysis services to the City of Minneapolis during the Above the Falls Policy Review and Implementation Study, and provided development advice to TLS, KVS, creators of River First, the winning entry of the International Minneapolis Riverfront Design Competition. She established economic development services, and in 1994 has provided services to over 100 communities in 10 states. Hopefully one of them was my state of birth, North Carolina. Just kidding. It was Virginia, there we go. And John Anfinson. John is the Superintendent of the Mississippi National River and Recreation Area, a unit of the National Park System in the Twin Cities, Minnesota. And John has been researching, writing, and speaking about the Upper Mississippi River for over 25 years. So as you can see, we've got the primo experts in this area that you're going to hear from tonight. And I am very proud to get this meeting kicked off on a wonderful foot. So. Next, I will be turning it over to the Executive Director of the Mississippi River Partnership, Kathleen Bowe. I've had the honor of working with her this past year now, approximately, towards sort of and I can tell you, she really is a visionary for what's next. And that's really the question right now. What is next for this jewel, this treasure this part of our entire city, of our entire region, and our entire state. So let's give it up for Kathleen.